whether or not he was sleeping well at night as a CEO of a startup. He said, oh yeah, I slept like a baby. I woke up every 2 hours and cried. And that's really the reality of it. Right? So if you are a founder of a company, if you're a CEO of a startup, raise your hand for a second. You know what I'm talking about, right? There were so many times that we thought that we are going to die, right? And by the way, we are not. We are still here, right? So perseverance and never give up is one of the most important behaviors of startup CEOs, right? So for a second, I say the decision to go into this journey of entrepreneurship is exactly like falling in love, right? So there are many ideas that you think of, and eventually there is one idea that you tell yourself, this is what I'm gonna do. You go to many dates, and eventually there is one that you tell yourself, she is the one. Now at the beginning, you only want to spend time with your date. You don't care about the rest of the world. You think of your new idea from multiple perspectives. This is the problem I'm going to solve, and this is how the solution is going to look like, and this is what I'm gonna do tomorrow morning, and this is my 10 years vision, until you feel confident enough. And then you go and tell your friends, this is what I'm gonna do. The first reaction is always the same. This will never work. Right? And these are the nice guys. The lesser nicer guys, they will tell you, this is the stupidest idea that I ever heard. And trust me, I heard that. You take your date for the first time to meet your friends, and they're saying, she is not for you. This is where you disengage from your friends. So the good news is that you're in love and you don't listen to anyone else. The bad news is that you are in love and you don't listen to anyone else. But you actually have to be in love in order to go into this journey, because this journey is going to be nothing like you have experienced before. This is going to be more challenging, harder, longer, and way more extremeness than anything else that you have seen before. Now, for me, the journey always starts with the same place, with the problem. Think of a problem, a big problem, something that if you solve that, the world will become a better place. And then you ask yourself, so who has this problem? If you happen to be the only person on the planet with this problem, you know what? I can recommend you a therapist. Way faster and cheaper than building a startup. But if a lot of people actually have this problem, what you want to do next is go and speak with those people and understand their perception of the problem. And only then start to think about the solution. And this is really important, because if you follow this path, you start with the problem, you validate the problem, and then you build your solution, it's guaranteed that you are creating value. If you start with the solution, you might be building something that no one cares, and that is going to be really frustrating. Look, at the end of the day, entrepreneurship journey is about value creation. That's it. If you want to be successful, you want to create value. Everything else will follow. The simplest way to create value is solve a problem. That's the simplest way. That's it. And this is why I will always say start with the problem. So it's not what you're doing, it's why you're doing what you're doing. And the why is the value proposition. This is the problem I'm going to solve. When you remain focused on the problem is going to serve as the North Star of your journey. And when you have a North Star, you are going to make less deviation from the course, and you simply increase the likelihood of being successful. But if for no other reason, your story is going to be way more compelling when you focus on the problem. Just imagine that I will be here in 2007, and I will tell you I'm going to build an AI crowdsource-based navigation system, and everyone is going to say, oh yeah, very interesting. But no one cares. If I will tell you I'm going to help you to avoid traffic jams and speeding tickets, then you do care. When your customer care, they want you to be successful. And when they want you to be successful, guess what? They're going to help you to become successful. And still, I will tell you, look, I get tons of emails from entrepreneurs. And I would say probably 95% of them, if not even more, they will start by telling me what they are doing and not why they are doing that. So if there is one thing that all the entrepreneurs need to think of is, what is the value that I create? What is the value that I create to my customers? And that is going to be the beginning of your story. This is the problem I'm going to solve.